Hey guys, I'm here with Jesse of With the Punches. How have you been, dude?
Been good, dude. Just, kind of preparing, getting ready for Japan. England was a bummer. It's kind of like a sore subject.
Oh yeah, slam dunk, right?
But I will talk about it if you want to. Yeah, but we ended up, not getting able to do the full UK tour, so we've kind of been all about the Japanese tour, and then now a full US tour after that, so pretty stoked.
That's awesome, dude. Who's doing the Japan tour with you guys?
So Japan is what's called the Beyond the Blue tour, and it's put on by a label that we work with out there called Kick Rock, and it's Mayday Parade, the Somerset, Ann Arbor, and us. And then there's different support around Japan for different dates.
Cool. Yeah, the tour sounds pretty sweet. You guys just put out a new EP called It's Not the End of the World. Just talk to me about what went behind making that album.
Well, It's Not the End of the World was kind of like what we call it like a time capsule piece, because it really was just, it was written and recorded right in the middle of the hardest time of us ever being a band. Really, like, everything that could have gone wrong was going wrong, and we weren't even like fully functional as a band at that moment in time, and so the writing just became about what we were going through and who was left and where we were. And so the record is very much our take on it, but I think has met pretty decent appeal from a lot of friends, because it's easy for a lot of people to feel that way, that things are really like at a point of no return. And so it's cool when things come out of it, and we ended up turning into the best and the biggest things that we've ever done for us. And everything that we could have possibly dreamt of happening, touring other countries, all happened after that release, so we're really happy.
So I know you guys recently had some trouble getting to the UK for Slam Dunk Fest, and I know your UK fans were definitely really stoked to see you guys play. Maybe let them know what kind of went down with that whole situation.
Yeah, man, I'll give you the straightforward, kind of short, painless answer for me. We got there, and our very good friend Joe Hurst, who runs the label over there, was taking care of business. The only problem was that we needed a little bit more official documentation or sponsorship in order to tour the country, and so the immigration office held us in holding for about 7 hours. We were very much like punk rock terrorists of another country for no good reason, when really the only reason we were in there is because we were honest about what we were doing, and so that ended up backfiring on us. And yeah, we kind of hung out, we waited, they were asking a million questions, and then the next thing you know, they come back in and they're like, we're putting you on the next plane home, you don't have an option, we've already changed your flight, we're going to escort you on the plane, you'll get your passports on the way back, that's it, you're going home. Wow. And that was it. I saw London through the airplane window, and that was it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man, definitely one of the most disappointing times of mine and the other dudes' lives, for sure.
Yeah, I bet. Wow.
Yeah, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. You've heard that before, I'm sure, so right. Yeah, that was that.
Makes a good story, in the future.
Yeah, hopefully so. I mean, I don't be surprised if you hear a song about it on in a new release. It would not surprise me either, so it'd be cool.
So you guys have any plans for any new music coming out in the near future, or are you guys just kind of focusing on your 2 upcoming tours and just doing shows and stuff?
We're actually we have been writing since we got home. Because of the unexpected time off where we weren't in another country, we had time to kind of hang out and practice, and really that's the only thing that keeps us all fairly sane, is getting together and doing stuff when we're home. And yeah, so we started writing. We wrote one new song that we're just kind of working out the kinks on right now, and we want to write as many as we can to gear up for this year. We didn't put out a whole lot between our first EP and this one, and it was a long period of time, so we're kind of trying to make up for that now by putting out as much as we can for everybody this year. So definitely some stuff coming. We've got plans that we're kind of finalizing of what to release and when, but there will be a full length at some point, and there'll be some new songs very soon.
That's awesome, dude. Definitely stoked to hear some new stuff from you guys. Just in closing, maybe you could kind of just talk to us about where With the Punches came from, like the early stages of your band, and how you guys have grown since then.
Yeah, it was a very natural thing, because before the band ever really started officially, had full members and whatever, Dustin and I had been in some previous bands and music projects together. We went to high school together. We didn't even get along in high school, but after that we ended up kind of patching up, realizing we liked a lot of the same music. We moved to Texas together, lived in Austin, Texas for 4 years, where we started writing music together, hanging out in our apartment, and that stuff kind of went its own different way. Dustin went home before I did. I was singing in a band down there, so I stayed, and by the time I got home, we had just been talking about what was next, and we started writing songs to be this band. We wrote Burned at Both Ends in his basement on an acoustic guitar, and with that song and one others, Thrill Your Idols, that's on the old EP. Those two songs we kind of took to make a really crappy demo of and hand out, and we passed out flyers everywhere to try and get members. And it ended up being that we found Shane on MySpace, and so we started working with him. And Sam, our bass player, has actually been a longtime friend of mine when he was in college up this way. He lives in Long Island, but I knew him from then. I originally asked him to play guitar in the band, and unfortunately he was like really tied up with a job at that point, and so first he declined, then he came to our first show, and we all hung out, and we talked about it, and he ended up being the bass player. And kind of like that, that's all. It really just, we became friends, and we became a band, and we didn't really want to do it if we weren't going to do it really hard, so we just went at it full force, wrote songs. We recorded Keep It Going in like 2 months' time, really. We were writing the songs and recording it pretty much at the same time. So it was a whole different process for the next record after we had grown up and started to know each other a little bit better, and that's kind of where we're at now. It's just a continual process. We just keep getting more comfortable. Too comfortable. We're usually naked. I mean, not really.
Alright, alright. Alright, so I run out of questions. I'm not the best interviewer ever. But we've talked about Japan, we've talked about the new album. Is there anything else you kind of want to throw in there?
I mean, I should say too that about the full US tour. I mean, I didn't really mention who's doing that or whatever, but that's going to be really cool. It's long too.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, man, it's going to start. The full US tour is called the Squid Life Tour. And we've like this long-running joke between my friends, who I just actually talked about the band I was singing for in Texas. Two dudes, Billy and Chris from my old band called Tomorrow's Too Late, started a band called Thieves, and that's who's doing the first half of the tour with us.
Nice.
And so it's like my little brother's all grown up, and I'm really stoked to be with them on the road, as we talked about a million times. So they were my first touring band, even if we only toured for a week, so that was really cool. Stoked to bring them out. We started in the very end of July, and it runs all over the full US straight through all of August and half of September. So
nice.
It's us and, again, Thieves supporting for the first half, and the bulk of the tour is just us and Caradale from Alabama.
Nice.
If you haven't heard them, they're pretty awesome. They have a record called Relapse in the River City, and it's really good. And Thieves actually also has a full-length record that just came out called Give It Up, and both the records are awesome. So it's gonna be a killer summer.
Well, we're stoked, dude, to see what you guys are doing and what you guys have planned for the future. Thank you so much for your time today. Just definitely really appreciated.
Dude, of course, man. Thank you. I'm stoked to do it. I hope the best of success with the blog, and just let me know whenever it's up, and I'll help get the word out.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, man. Take care. Later.